A lot of the information on an IFR flight plan is for purposes other than air traffic control. Just look at the lengthy ICAO flight plan form that has become the standard way to file a flight plan. It asks for detailed avionics specifications, survival equipment, and much, much more. All of the flight plan elements that we file for an IFR flight shouldn't be considered factual either. There are initial requests in there, as well as some potential fiction. We give the airplane number, type, equipment, speed, departure point, fuel on board, our name and address, the number of people on board, and the color of the airplane. Those are the facts. The initial request includes the cruising altitude and the route of flight. The potential fiction is the time of departure, the destination, the time and route, and the alternate airport. At least you better treat these as potential fiction because it's the overwhelming urge to make these items fact that lead to problems in IFR flying. The procedural nature of the ATC system may or may not like the requested cruising altitude. In busy areas, certain altitudes are often assigned to flights using certain routes. There, it would not matter what altitude you filed, you'd get the altitude used for that route. Also, you might file for 8,000, for example, and find that this altitude is right in the top of bumpy clouds. Many flights are simply not flown at the filed altitude. The route is subject to the same considerations. ATC might not like it, or because of weather, you may wish to change the route. That's okay. You should never feel trapped into flying a route or an altitude simply because it was in the flight plan. So much for the initial request. Now for the fiction. Critical variables come with the time of departure, destination, time and route, and alternate. Just because we put these things on a flight plan doesn't mean we must feel compelled to make them happen. Rushing to make a departure time because it's on the flight plan simply isn't productive. ATC is supposed to keep your clearance for 2 hours after the proposed time off. So don't worry if an extended weather briefing delays you for a half an hour. Destination and time en route are dictated by Mother Nature and your fuel load, not a flight plan form. Use all of your in-flight resources to continuously monitor winds aloft, ground speed, and fuel stats. That's what really matters once you're flying in the system. Finally, to cast an alternate in stone because it's on the flight plan puts too much faith in weather forecasting. The real alternate should be based on a continuous check of weather while en route. All this may sound like the pre-flight planning that leads to the flight plan is all for naught. That's not true. What is true is that you don't have absolutes to deal with in pre-flight planning, and the filed plan is simply an outline of what we want to do. It's based on current and forecasted conditions. And what will actually happen is based on actual conditions, which may be far different than those forecast. ATC is flexible on this. Once you're en route, if the weather looks better along another route than along the one you filed, all you have to do is give the controller your new proposed route and destination, and he'll go right to work for you.